Good morning, natural gas. It's Friday, July the 10th, 2026. I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company. And today for the spot August natural gas contract, we're down, and we're down hard again. We're down over 10.7 cents here to 2.902, over 3.65%. And as you can see, this is a combination between the EIA natural gas storage report and LNG news out of Freeport. So right now we are in sell territory for the RSI. It has turned negative with the big bar rollover yesterday. We are through the major $3 strike. We'll talk about that in a minute. But now, what do? Let's see. Let's go to the hourly chart. And as you can see right now, we are now down below first support here, which came in at 292.10. We're well below the daily pivot, which came in at 308.20. The pivots are very, very wide. Why? Because we had such a big bar yesterday on the downside. The RSI is in oversold condition. So our next support, 282.90. And then below that, 266.80. But before that, it would be the 275 strike for options. Let's take a look at what happened here yesterday. The EIA natural gas storage report came in at plus 61. That means that it was well over expectations. Reuters survey was plus 49. Other clusters around plus 55, which means that we are still now slightly below last year's level, just 0.5% here, but we're 6.6% over the 5-year average. So in the United States, we're doing quite well for storage despite the heat. And let's take a look at the options. And this is for the August contract here. And as you can see, we're below the $3 strike, which had over 37,000 of open interest. The biggest open interest, 275. So that looks like it's going to be the magnet, pull this market right toward it. Let's take a look at what else is going on. Because of the big drop in the front to back spreads have widened back out. So as you can see, this is Jan versus October. This is turning to the upside here. We are currently up 1.5 cents to 131.30, or over 1% higher on the day. We are through now once support here at 125. It was resistance. Now, again, will act as support. 125 is our critical level. And let's take a look at ERCOT here for the power. And as you can see right now, we are looking at over 45,000 megawatts of capacity for wind and solar. And our load here is going to be just below 81,000 megawatts. As a result, natural gas right now is only pulling 29% of the fuel mix here. Wind and solar are doing quite well again. And also battery storage is currently charging, as you can see over here on the energy storage resources. And let's take a look at the national grid for power. And as you can see, the pain, SPP, PJM, and MISO really, and also NISO. So that is where the pain threshold, very, very volatile yesterday for both PJM and MISO here, SPP as well. So we'll keep a careful eye on this as we go into the weekend. We still have some very warm temperatures coming up. And speaking of warm temperatures, let's look at the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook. Above normal in the Pacific Northwest and across the Southeast, including Florida. Near normal near El Paso into New Mexico. Near normal in New England. Mid-Atlantic states are mixed here, slightly warmer in the 8 to 14 than it was yesterday. So let's take a look at the heat index map here. Oop, we went all the way through the week already. Sorry, Friday here today. 7.8 million people under extreme heat risk, mainly Florida up through North Carolina right now. But as we go through Saturday here, that eases up a little bit. Sunday eases a little further, but puts the extreme heat all the way back up in Wyoming and Montana. And then that moves over into South Dakota on Monday. Tuesday, same thing in South Dakota. Then we start seeing this heat start to waffle over towards Chicago, back toward New York, back toward Boston here on Wednesday. And then we've got more heat coming back in here across the eastern half of the country, as well as the interior parts of the West here. But mainly moderate to major heat risk. Extreme heat risk is only showing back up in Florida on Thursday, next Thursday, July 16th. let's look at the forecast as we go forward out there. As you can see, this is the heat risk map here. And again, that heat risk is mainly through the center of the country here. That pushes east towards Chicago as we go through the forecast period. This is the 17th. And as you can see, that pushes back up into the East Coast, coming up on the 18th and 19th and 20th. So 21st is mainly in Texas through the southeast. As you can see here, all the way through the 24th here, it is Texas, 100-degree temperature there. Florida in the 90s, hundreds into South Carolina, all the way back up into Virginia. So we'll still have summer heat for July in the United States. Let's take a look at Europe. And this is obviously highlighting France here, going through the 14th and the 15th here, still getting that extreme heat once again. So this is exceptional heat for France. Back into Germany, that starts to move southerly down into Spain, into Italy here as we go through the forecast period, giving France brief support before it comes roaring right back again the 23rd, 24th. So let's pause that there. Sorry, went right back through the beginning of the forecast period here. So let's take a look at storage here for the EU. 51.1% full for the EU. As a result, we still have plenty of time. We've got about 3.5 months here before the net withdrawal season starts around November the 1st. So perhaps they can get the 75% full should weather cooperate. Right now, though, in France, I doubt it. And let's take a look at Asia here as we push through the weather here. Again, it is mostly moderate temperatures as we go through the forecast period. Yes, it's summer. We get some warm temperatures from Shanghai up back to Beijing, but also some cooler weather starts showing back up late in the forecast period here. So this is the 15th as we go through the forecast here. And as you can see, that warm temperature anomalies are mainly from Shanghai to Beijing. Then it starts to warm up again toward the 20th and 21st as it gets closer and closer toward the capital city, which is in this area here. So that takes us all the way through the forecast. And let's take a look at the August versus August for JKM versus TTF. And as you can see right now, we're down to only 30.5 cents here. This is as of yesterday. So that means the premium for Asia has started to erode. Why? Because Europe is waking up to their storage problem. Now the RSI is quite low here. It is in oversold condition. We'll see if Asia starts picking back up for the outer contracts. Let's take a look at the LNG market. And here are two LNG tankers loading at Ras Laffan. Here's the first one. And the second one is the gas log Shanghai. So, excuse me, gas log Shanghai right there. Sorry about that. It's not showing back up. There we are, gas log Shanghai. So there are two tankers here. There are 10 berths at Ras Laffan for loading of LNG. But with the Strait of Hormuz basically closed, we'll see whether or not these tankers will move out of this area. And let's take a look at the U.S. And this is Cameron, 1.475. Steady as she goes here. Good news there, but here's the bad news. Freeport. Freeport announced that they're going to do some maintenance here between July the 10th today all the way through late August. This is a month and a half, so a month and 3 weeks. This is really kind of the double whammy we had from the EIA storage report and this, because we're down over half a BCF here at Freeport, and it looks like that's going to continue for the next month. How about the LNG for, this is Cheniere. This is right now still 400,000 open here on Creole Trail. As you can see, that maintenance at Gillis compressor station has ended, but this is still starting to ramp up. We'll see if this improves over the next few days. And here is Corpus Christi, same thing. They had maintenance at Sinton compressor station. That ended on the 8th here, but we're still have open capacity. We'll see if this ramps back up over the next few days, over the weekend. And let's take a look at Venture Global. Again, this is 454,000 open in capacity here for Calcasieu Pass, and Plaquemines is still running over nameplate capacity, over almost 3.99. And here is Golden Pass, steady as she goes, 519,629 MMBTUs. Again, at a total capacity around 800 to 850,000 for train 1. And let's take a look at the U.S. nuclear fleet. We haven't looked at this for quite a while. As you can see right now, for July the 10th, we're really looking at about 2.1 gigawatts are offline. This is Fermi and, of course, Palisades. Palisades still does not have a restart date. It is expected to come online later this year. Let's take a look at the tropics. We've got basically just some scattered storms in the Bay of Campeche. Nothing is looking like it's going to be able to develop here. And why? Well, guess what? We've got even more Saharan air layer coming across. This is massive. This is huge. It is encompassing almost the entire Caribbean at this point, and it is pushing into Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, as you can see. And so more of this is coming, and it's going to inhibit any storm development in the mid-Atlantic. Let's look at the oil and gas E&P sector here. Stocks between $2 and $10 billion have a high short float, over 10%. And as you can see, slightly mixed here. CNX and CRK are down. Magnolia behind me is actually down 0.32%. So everything is starting to go. Yep, everything except for Matador is now in the red. And here is, again, recapping for the spot August natural gas contract. We're pressing to new lows yet again. We're currently at 288.8, down 12.4 cents or 4%. We're continuing to shed length here across this August natural gas contract. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.